like earpieces and using someone else's stuff, but practically it doesn't work. So the way that I'm thinking about the press conference now is that we'll create a script from what we've done today and what we've done with actors. And maybe both of them will exist somewhere on the internet.
Great. So as we're coming to the end, I guess one big question is, which maybe has occurred to some people, is why are you hosting a press conference in your exhibition?
Well, I was watching, my friends had a press conference for an independent film they were in for Toronto Film Festival, and it was amazing. I was backstage and I was watching this tiny monitor, and it looked epic. It looked like it was $1 million film, and I put my head down the corner, and I noticed that like a 3 journalists, like 2 cameramen, and an empty auditorium. But the point is that it existed. The theatre was being created to express this idea, or like to introduce people to the film. And what I like about the fact that the point of entry is so low, like anyone can start their own shop on the internet, anyone can start their own magazine, and it kind of comes down to the idea. And I think the same is true perhaps with this. The idea of the press conference that anyone can do it, anyone can sign and put themselves perceptively on the same level as a $1 million film or political broadcast. Also, I think that it's a good replacement for the press statement. It's very hard to get someone to read even an A4 page, where people are much more just open to the clip, the 3 or 4 minute clip.
Cool. So, what comes next for Ed Fornieles?
A few things. One of them is Character Date, which is a new dating service that supplies you with a new character, supplies you with backstory profiles on the internet. It gives you clothing to wear and sends you out to the real world on real dates. We hope this will involve, I want to create a network of about 30 or 60 people in real life who will then start corresponding with knowing each other, but with other real people who aren't aware of their fiction. And another thing that also Perfume Minutes, which is being shot tomorrow and will be released by 1 p.m. Glee, the package.
Cool. What comes next for you, Jonathan?
I'm thinking that there will be a big part to that role to carry on with the good work. Christian way that you were letting off, and hoping that you will continue. We had a car crash. I was in the car at the end, and you kind of survived it. And then also there's a story between you and our character that I'm hoping you will carry on. Yeah. And into the sunset, shall we?
Cool. So, on that happy ending, thank you, Ed. Thanks, Jonathan. We will now be opening up for questions from the floor. There are some topics that Ed refuses to talk about, but we'll deal with that as and when we come to it. So please feel free to ask Ed. Hello, gentleman in the front row, who's the pen.
Could you talk about, when you're using other people's images, other people's pictures, could you talk about the issues around that, about people's boundaries, about people's property rights, and about what they might feel if they walk into this exhibition? And see, not to see images of themselves, not to see characters of themselves.
It's a good point. Mark Zuckerberg has said privacy is dead, and it is. And I think we need to change our perceptions about a few things. One of them being personal information, about copyright, and there's a new reality out there, and we have to live with it. So all these things are easily accessible, pirating films, pirating personal images, pirating commercial images, they're all easy and accessible, so therefore it will be done. So I think the artwork story just expands to the what's there, systems that we use.
So you don't believe in copyright at all?
I believe that I think that it has to change and that we can't think about it the way that we have done before.
That's in a legal sense, but then also in an emotional sense. If somebody, one of the students walks in and sees those images, sees that they've been terrorized in a way which they might find offensive themselves. I mean,
no, you're right. I'd be interested to see that happening. And I'm not sensitive to those concerns. And if someone were to come in, I would have to think closely about what to do, whether or not to replace those images with maybe just Google search images or place it with another character. But for instance, YouTube funds a policy that they don't take things down unless people flag them up, and maybe that's a good policy to make.
You talked about people doing realities that sort of 99% up, and also taking people's real things from I'm wondering about the ways that reality just inserts itself into the project without sort of this bringing stuff as like thinking sort of maybe adverts on Facebook, that sort of reality sort of inserting itself, and also if anyone on Facebook just happened across these characters inside of them.
It's through network, so I stopped that happening. And that was kind of to do with trying to spread this belief that if the network existed in Facebook, the large thing, or an open Facebook, it might have been dissolved by people's day-to-day correspondence and harder to control. Although they say that one of the next phases is starting at a high school, which will be open, and there will be a website to teach you how to steal, I call it scalping profiles, and there'll be headmasters that go and friends with, and people will begin to inhabit this area, and then that will be open free, and people will be able to sort of, it will become saturated by normal Facebook. But what was the other thing you were saying about sort of,
the way that reality breaking sharp into the project, Facebook's sort of virtual real site that sort of merges the two. Sort of avatar-esque and our way we present ourselves. It's still pretty friendly for advertising, people trying to brands and companies trying to that's advertising, that's actually that's reality sort of imposing itself on this virtual space and maybe the front foot as much.
In a way, it's not, because what Facebook is great at is analysing your likes and dislikes and your correspondence and trying to create an idea of who you are and what products you buy. So what's really cool is that during Dawn Days, all the advertising was catered to our fictional characters. Also, have you seen the documentary, the new one with Martin Crowe and BBC, but in that is all about market research and how they're becoming, every little button that's created on Facebook is to try and get a bit of information out of you, a bit of data to get a better picture of you and how to market products. And what's weird about Dawn Days is that it's a real anomaly in their system, and if we do get a large one, like maybe with hundreds of thousands of people, it will completely destroy all of their research, because all of it will be towards fictional creative characters. So I'd be interested to see that happen.
Well, I would say actually it's interesting having likes, having a virtual character who likes things that you don't. So for instance on Facebook I liked Kim Kardashian and Playboy. So I'm not opposed to them in real life, but I don't like them on Facebook. And the sort of things you get on your feed when you follow people like that, it's quite weird, it's quite extraordinary. And another thing is, even though it was a closed network of just 30 people who didn't exist, who were only friends with each other, and no one else, and was completely shut off, I think it did break down to an extent, which sort of shows how powerful Facebook algorithms are. Where I started to get people you may know as suggestions, but people I did know in real life who were real characters, which I thought was really weird. I still have no idea of how Facebook could.
It's because put email addresses in and backups. But they can get that information for that. Any more? I'm sorry.
Cool.
Yes.
I'm interested in the idea of like longevity of art, because the whole thing with like internet art is it, you know, even that video already starts to kind of feel out of date. And I mean, how do you feel about how that video will age? And are you making things which just are there by the instant appeal, or are you thinking about 10, 20, 30 years how we're going to look at these works?
Well, I'm thinking about both, but I think that you know, in all art things, especially ones that use found or real objects, and my interest is being like in the now and what's contemporary, and by that I mean culture that's being used and relevant, so there's anything. So TV programs in the 80s are still contemporary because they're still being watched. I think, so I want to kind of pinpoint it in this moment. I think that's exciting. And I want to create a full record of it so it is preserved as it was and as it is. And then, yeah, I'm really excited to see how it's going to age, because Facebook is changing at such a rate. Like all its functions, its aesthetic, everything is changing. So it is on another level a historic record.
Cool. Well, I think time's getting on. We've only got time for maybe 6 or 7 more questions.
One more.
Yeah, who else? Gentleman in the front with the cotton gloves.
Hello Ed, hello Dee, Jonathan.
Hi.
One of the second things you see when you come in the show is a cladded wall. It's an American wood cladding that implies something sort of solid and large behind it. I'm wondering how you deal with the kind of the way that the different elements of the show exist, because so much of what you've done is other places, not kind of invested in all the spatial things. So how would you sum up that process of bringing all of your work into an exhibition?
Well, artists I think are often grappling or trying to justify for themselves on what materials to use and how to use them. So in a way, I've created these events and these things that exist outside to construct its own logic. Like this sort of wall piece is very much the logic of the film set perhaps, and then talks about American houses and this idea of the iconic American house that I think we all understand and know. And then so your question is about how...
Did you like making it quite hard for me to walk into the space? I have to do quite a lot of... There's a story that unfolds.
Yeah, and I think you find there's more, I think you find with all art that the more you know about it, the more you know about what's around it, the more you get out of it. And maybe I like to have this rich depth, because you can enjoy this show perhaps on the surface level, and you can